They say if you drive down Black Hollow Road at night, you might see a single lantern swinging in the dark. But whatever you do, don't stop. Don't look too closely. Because the one holding that lantern isn't looking for help, he's looking for you. This is the chilling legend of the Lantern Keeper of Black Hollow Road. Black Hollow Road isn't a place you'll find on most maps. It's one of those winding, forgotten country lanes that locals whisper about. Hemmed in by ancient, gnarled trees that form a canopy so thick it blots out the moonlight, the road has an eerie, timeless quality. During the day, it's just a quiet back road. But when night falls, it transforms. The air grows heavy, the silence becomes deafening, and every shadow seems to hold a secret. This is the domain of the Lantern Keeper. The story changes depending on who you ask, but the core elements remain the same. Decades, maybe even a century ago, a man lived in a small cabin just off the road. Some say he was a simple farmer named Silas. Others call him Jedediah, a reclusive watchman. The most common version of the tale paints him as a devoted husband and father. One stormy night, his wife fell gravely ill. Desperate, he grabbed his oil lantern and set off on foot down the treacherous road to fetch the town doctor. The wind howled, the rain came down in sheets, and the path turned to a muddy river. He fought his way through the storm, his only guide the faint, flickering light of his lantern. But he never made it. The next morning, a search party found him. He had slipped and fallen into the swollen creek that runs alongside the road. His body was tangled in the roots of an old willow tree, his hand still clutching the now extinguished lantern. Back at the cabin, they found his wife and child had also succumbed to the illness, alone in the dark. A family wiped out by a single tragic night. It's a sad story, but here's where it turns from tragedy to terror. They say his spirit never left Black Hollow Road. Driven by grief and a desperate, unending need to complete his journey, he walks the road every night. His spectral form, forever clad in the simple clothes of a bygone era, carries a single lantern. The light bobs and sways in the darkness, a lonely beacon in the oppressive gloom. He is forever searching, forever trying to reach the town that lies just beyond the hollow. He is the Lantern Keeper. Now you might think a ghost trying to get help is harmless, right? That's the most dangerous assumption you can make. The legend warns that the Lantern Keeper's grief has twisted over the years into something else. Something possessive and resentful. He sees other travelers on his road, warm and safe in their modern cars, and he's filled with a cold, spectral jealousy. He doesn't want your help. He wants you to share his fate. Countless people have claimed to see him. The stories are disturbingly similar. You're driving down Black Hollow Road, maybe as a shortcut, maybe on a dare. It's late. Your headlights cut a tunnel through the pitch black. Then, up ahead, you see it. A single point of light, swinging rhythmically, like someone carrying a lantern. Your first instinct is to slow down. Maybe someone's car broke down and they need help. As you get closer, you see the silhouette of a man. Tall, gaunt, dressed in old-fashioned clothing. This is the critical moment. The legend is very clear on this point. Do not stop. Do not roll down your window. Do not engage with him. Hit the accelerator and drive right past. They say if you look into his eyes, you'll see not a man in need, but an abyss of pure sorrow and rage. If you stop, he'll approach your car. He might tap on the glass with long, cold fingers. He might just stand there, his lantern casting long, dancing shadows, his face obscured by the night. Those who have stopped and lived to tell the tale speak of an overwhelming sense of dread, a feeling of being completely and utterly doomed. Their cars stall. Their electronics fritz. The doors won't unlock. One of the most famous accounts comes from a couple in the 1980s. They were teenagers at the time, out for a joyride. They saw the light and, thinking it was a prank, decided to stop and mess with whoever it was. They rolled down the window and called out. The figure turned towards them, and the lantern light illuminated his face. They said it was pale and gaunt, with hollow eyes that burned with a cold fire. He didn't speak. He just started walking towards them, his pace steady and unnerving. Panicked, the driver slammed his foot on the gas. The tires squealed, but the car wouldn't move. It was as if invisible hands were holding it in place. The couple screamed as the engine died completely, and the headlights went out, plunging them into total darkness, save for the single, terrifying light of his lantern just outside their window. They say they sat there for what felt like an eternity, paralyzed with fear until, just as suddenly, he was gone. The car started, the lights came on, and they sped away, never looking back. Another story tells of a truck driver who saw the lantern keeper and, feeling sorry for him, offered him a ride. The figure just stared, then slowly shook his head. The trucker shrugged and drove on. But for the rest of his journey down that road, he felt a chilling presence in his cab. He saw the reflection of a man in his rearview mirror sitting silently in the passenger seat, the faint smell of damp earth and river water filling the air. He didn't dare turn his head to look. He just kept his eyes on the road, his heart pounding, until he finally broke free from the tree line of Black Hollow Road. When he pulled over, shaking, the seat next to him was empty, but it was cold to the touch and damp. So what does the lantern keeper want? The folklore suggests he's a collector of souls. He wants company in his lonely, endless vigil. He wants others to feel the same loss, the same cold despair that has consumed him. By stopping, you are acknowledging him, inviting him into your world. Some of the more grim tellings of the legend say that those who stop and get out of their cars are never seen again. They simply vanish, becoming another whispered story, another warning to those who might dare to travel Black Hollow Road at night. Over the years, paranormal investigators and thrill seekers have tried to document the lantern keeper. They've set up cameras, used EMF detectors, and tried to communicate using spirit boxes. The results are often inconclusive, yet deeply unsettling. They record strange electronic voice phenomena, whispers of "help me," "so cold," and "stay." They capture photos of strange orbs of light and shadowy figures that defy explanation. But no one has ever captured a clear image of the man himself. It's as if he exists just on the edge of our perception. A chilling reminder that some places, and some stories, are best left undisturbed. The locals have a deep respect for the legend. They don't drive down Black Hollow Road after dark unless absolutely necessary. They teach their children the story not as a spooky tale, but as a genuine warning. Don't stop for the light, they say. It's a rule as ingrained as looking both ways before crossing the street. Because for them, the lantern keeper isn't just folklore. He's a part of the landscape, a permanent, sorrowful fixture of the night. A lonely soul forever walking a dark road, lantern in hand, waiting for the next curious traveler to make a fatal mistake. So, if you ever find yourself on a dark tree-lined road and see a single light swinging in the distance, remember the unseen passenger. And whatever you do, keep driving. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment or follow for more folklore legends.